Well, hello there, worms. It's me again, Mand, on the pergola, in the sunshine, thank goodness. I've been running a few errands today, and my usual fashion of my complete absent-mindedness, drove all the way to the store, got to the checkout. Just sat on a bit of rose. Ow. And yeah, because I've been doing some pruning here and I'm cleared up after myself. What a surprise. So yeah, I drove all the way to the store, and I didn't have my wallet, and also I had to go and pick something up from Facebook Marketplace as well. So I went all the way back, get the wallet, went all the way there again, got my shopping. They gave me a 20 quid note, and then I went to the Facebook Marketplace seller and they couldn't break my £20 note, so then I go back into town, buy something, and then go back there again, and I'm knackered. And I'm also really worried about the cat. He won't eat his medication, and anyway, so yeah, majorly anxiety. But I'll tell you what makes my ADHD anxiety really bad is guilt. And we're talking about the kind of thing here where, say, Monday night, for example, and you know, and I'm kind of like trying to do a lot of stuff, trying to work out what I'm doing over Christmas, over winter, trying to take care of the cat. Really burnt out actually, and it requires a lot of brain power to just to adult really, you know. If you've got ADHD, things just do not work as well as you'd like them to. I mean, on the one hand, you come up with brilliant creative ideas that are no use to anybody. On the other hand, all the things that you want to be useful at, you can't, because your brain doesn't want to let you do it. Your brain thinks hard work isn't its own reward. The brain thinks, if this isn't enjoyable, I'm not going to bother spending any time on it. So I end up doing things that are fun but not very practical, to be honest. And so that kind of makes me look like a bit of a shit, because it looks like I'm irresponsible and lazy and selfish. And How to ADHD did a video on selfishness recently. I do apologise for the shadows, but the sun's quite low in the sky, and this is the most comfortable bit of garden that I can film in at this time of day, which is about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And there's a massive pigeon over there. Wow, huge. I hope the cats don't get him. So yeah, guilt. And it's like, so Monday came along, and it's been a couple of weeks since I went to singing club, and I did enjoy it, but something always comes along and I'm just feeling knackered. And so Monday came along and I thought, oh right, this time I'm really going to go. And it was pissing down with rain, and it was cold, it was dark. I was in the middle of sewing. I just looked out the window and I thought, I can't do this. It's too dark, it's too wet, and I was just drained really. I'd had such a stress with the cat, and I just felt so guilty. And when I'm guilty, I tend to drink a little bit more alcohol than I should do, and then I wake up in the middle of the night feeling rough and feeling more guilty for doing that. So it's a horrible cycle of guilt. And then you've got the other things where, like, if your partner's away and they ask you to do something and you haven't done it, and you tell them that you have done it because they don't know any better, and what the heart doesn't see, the mind doesn't grieve over, as the saying goes. So it's at that constant sort of weight of little white lies where you sort of say, you tell people you've done something, or you make an excuse that you can't do something because, you know, I can't go out tonight because I've got the flu, or I can't go out, I can't do this particular job because such and such, or whatever it is. And all these excuses that you make up, and then you just think, and then it swings the other way sometimes, and you're desperate to try and please people, and then because you've done that, then they expect you to be compliant all the time, and then you just fall into this horrible trap of, like, I just don't know what I'm doing anymore, and it's really crappy. It's my Prodigy t-shirt. I love this t-shirt. So yeah, you can do what you can do is what I'm saying, and It's a nice day today, and I've got some broad bean seeds to put in. I'm going to chill out now. I'm I've got a really tight muscles on my back. I've not been sleeping. I've been feeling very guilty about things. I'm working at the weekend, and honestly, that's the best thing for me, because I know a lot of people don't like work, and there's a lot of YouTubers that say, "Oh, well, you know, who wants to go out to work? I don't want to go out to work. You know, I don't like working for the man. You know, all this anti-capitalist rhetoric and things." And I'm just grateful to get any work at all, to be honest. You know, I often wonder if it's not privilege on some people's parts, because they know that they can turn their hand to anything, so it doesn't matter. And then there's other people like me who are disabled and just like, please just give me work, please. So yeah, I mean, to go somewhere, to have someone trust you, to not have to apologise, to not have to feel guilty, and to not have to say sorry for anything, and just to do a good job and to be asked back again, that's the best thing in the world for me. I'm really looking forward to that. I'm going to be dressing up as a witch and telling spooky stories, and that's going to be so much fun. I've done it before, and sometimes I improvise stories as well, which I love doing. I love making things up, and some, like normal people, you know, people with proper jobs who earn proper money, they say, how can you do that? How can you just make stuff up like that? And I say, I don't know, that's just the way my brain works. And it's funny is that some people are jealous of you, and then other people, and you're jealous of other people because you want to be normal and they want to be gifted. And it's like, where do you draw the line? But the nice thing about some of my really good friends is that if I can't make something, they understand now. That if I can't make something, they're not going to make a big deal about it. Or if I haven't done something, they're not going to make a big deal about it. There's been a lot of people in the past, and one of the reasons I don't do much socialising is I'm just tired of explaining myself to people and them getting pissed off when I don't deliver the goods or whatever it is that they want from me. And the mood lighting is pretty good here, isn't it? Let's move a bit closer. So there you go. Here we go. So yeah, I am tired. But you know, I'm okay. I'm bearing up. It's just lying awake at night feeling guilty I've decided that tonight, if I feel guilty, I'm just going to do some sewing or something. I'm not just going to lie there and be in total mental agony. I'm going to do something for myself, something fun. Not try and force myself to sleep. Like, it's rubbish, really. It's silly. And as for guilt, all I can do is just have a schedule, write things down, and hope that if I do let people down, they're going to be nice enough to understand. Like going to the co-op earlier and not having my wallet. And you just think, oh no, how many people have I pissed off? Or if I pull out of a parking space wrong or something like that. Or the other day when I took the cat to the vet, and I was driving down the road and I had to turn into the vet's car park, but there was a parked car right in front of the turning. So I indicated to go around the car, and then I indicated to go, and this person let me go. And then he shouted at me, make up your bloody mind, he said. Well, I've got to indicate to go around this car, and then I've got to indicate to pull into the drive. So what was I doing wrong? I mean, the thing is that you try and do everything right, and you still end up doing everything wrong, and it really weighs on you, honestly. It really does. And you know, because it's not a physical disability, people will make rude remarks about, I mean, like, I've had a few rude remarks. The news is full of doom and gloom about all the COVID cases in the UK. So now I'm getting even more rude remarks about not wearing a mask. And I'm sorry, but I just can't. It makes me too anxious. When it was the law, I did, because I didn't want to come up against authority, because I hate that. And it, you know, and I had what what sufficed, really. I did what I could. But now I'm exhausted by the whole thing, and if they bring that back, I will still, you know, if it's mandatory, I'll do it. But you know, I mean, a lot of people think I'm irresponsible, and that's another thing I feel guilty about. But at the end of the day, I'm not being it to be a cunt. I'm being it because that's the only way I can be. It's a lot. The choice is out of my hands, and I've had therapy, and I know sometimes the choice isn't out of my hands, and I can make good choices. But even my good choices aren't going to be good enough for a lot of people, and That's just the way my brain works, and I'm not being malicious or lazy or intentionally awkward or anything like that. It's just I'm trying to do a lot, and I get anxious and flustered, and it's just difficult. So yeah, I mean, post below if you've got ADHD and you feel guilty about something. Tell me something you feel guilty about, and we can all commiserate together. All right, I love you all. See you again soon. Sorry for, again, I feel guilty about not posting a YouTube video. Oh, I think every night I'm going to write a list of what I feel guilty about, like, and in the morning look at it and think, well, actually that wasn't that important, or I could live with that, or whatever it is. Anyway, I'm going to go and bugger off now and cook some more special food for the cat and see if he will bloody eat it this time. He seems to know when I've given him his tablets. I try and put him in a different room so the other cats don't eat the food. So he knows if his food is not in the same place, I've put something in it. So he won't eat it. Bloody they're not stupid cats, they're really not. So yeah, I feel guilty about that too. But like, oh geez, I've got responsibilities. Like, you know, if I leave the door open and you know, the heating bill goes up and things like that, and it's just like, what? Oh, I'm trying to adult, I'm trying to do my best here, you know. So yeah, drowning my sorrows is probably not the best way to get rid of guilt, and like I said, it just turns into a spiral. But then on the other hand, I think I'm going to give myself a break tonight and just, I'm going to be careful Friday night because I'm working Saturday and I don't want to be grotty. I want to be completely on it like a car bonnet, on it like a sonnet. But yeah, it's a difficult one. It really is difficult. And it's like a lot of people say to me, well, don't give yourself a hard time. And I say to them, well, if I don't give myself a hard time, somebody else will. And that's the way it is. Right. Oh, I've got a few things to do now before it gets too dark and too cold. So I'm off now, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye, worms. Take care.